What's been going on? Apart from the fact my voice is struggling again. I've had a telephone conversation with my father today. As you know, he had a small stroke just before Christmas. He's still recovering and he's still weak. His voice is not good. He hasn't got much energy. He's having physiotherapy now, so things are happening, although he's 95, so how much better is he going to get? Slow down, don't talk too quickly. I can allow it to be amusing today that he cut my telephone conversation short because he wanted to save himself to talk to my sister this evening, which he does every evening for, it used to be an hour, but he's managing half an hour now because he can't talk so well. But what amused me was that obviously I'm not sufficiently interesting and important, and so he can only give me 10 minutes because he wants to save himself to talk to my sister. I don't take it personally. How did it go, the conversation? We didn't have any arguments, although I did disagree with some things, and his reliance on mainstream media and his believing everything that's said. It surprises me. Maybe it's a generation thing. I don't know. To me, he can't see that he's being fed what it's wanted that he believes. And as someone who feels he has a sharp analytical brain, he doesn't think to question any of it. He just takes it all on board. But that's something on which we differ. He showed only minimal interest in me and my doings. And yes, that's partly my fault because I don't volunteer lots, because I don't talk about myself. It's that's me. He did, just checking the time for reasons I might explain in a minute. Again, he shows this thing. He can't understand that I am different to himself, that I have different drivers, different interests, different needs. And he is unable to understand that I don't spend all my spare time in the garden as he used to do. Did he? I remember lots of unfinished projects in the garden when we were growing up. I mean, lots, all the time I can remember he had a garden. Maybe when he moved to Norfolk and had a house in Norfolk, things were different. I don't know. After we'd gone, he obviously had these golden years alone. He again referred to how he enjoyed having his children. And maybe this is the memory of an old man, but it seems very one-sided. It's about him enjoying the children rather than what was going on for the children. He's referred to the fact that my sister, his daughter, was very unhappy as a child, but it's not something he was aware of at the time. He hasn't said that, and I don't think he was. It's something that she has said later. All he saw was that he enjoyed his children. I'll leave that one there. I shan't take that any further. Anything else to report on the conversation? I don't like the way I sound when I talk to him. I sound very false. Something to address. Why am I checking the time? Well, my wife has been out all day today, which is brilliant. I did cynically agree to go out for breakfast with her. And cynically, not because I wanted to, because I didn't enjoy it, it was uncomfortable. I said virtually nothing and she complained about various things. But I went because it meant it would get her out of the house earlier than if she travelled on her own to what she was doing today. And because I was involved in the transport both ends of the day, I knew how much time I would have on my own in the day. Putting it like that, well, at the time, I thought it's not something of which I was particularly proud. But it helped make my day bearable. And I still have shock and foreboding, realising that she's going to be at home all day tomorrow. And that we're back to that situation now for the next 3 weeks. We're both here all day, every day. And I don't have the escape which has been so vital to me in the last couple of years. But that's another story. The time checking, because she came back and then went out again straight away. And I know she's coming back sometime fairly imminently. So what do? I'm going to prepare some food. And then what? The dread evening looms. I do find it difficult. It's funny, my father asked me today what I was doing, and I said that I was doing some washing. And he seemed very taken aback that I was doing washing. Oh, you do that? Whose name is the house in? Sorry, you do that too, you say. And I haven't got time or the energy to explain that I learnt early on that if I didn't do the washing, I didn't do the cooking, I didn't do the washing up, I wouldn't have food, I wouldn't have clean clothes. I don't do much cleaning around the house, which means cleaning around the house doesn't get done. But it's not disgusting. It's just not that clean. I can think of someone's house I can think of someone's house which is probably worse for general hygiene, and she is someone who does clean. But there, we'll leave that one. He doesn't understand. I haven't got the time or energy to explain it to him. And I don't think he listens. Well, he doesn't listen. He just picks up little snippets, holds on to them and regurgitates them at a later time. Is there more to say? Did I have much to say today? I'm trying to do nothing that involves spending money at the moment. And when I do, I'm spending my money, of which there isn't much. It's a finite amount. Because I don't feel comfortable spending the joint money, of which there isn't enough, because the joint money is augmented by inheritance money to pay everyday bills. But this is getting into an area about which you don't really need to know. I could be talking about what the future is, but what is the future? To me, it seems increasingly that the future is not here, but where? Where? As I said in a much earlier video, I believe leave. Need to leave, and I leave behind everything that's here. I can't take it all with me. So I sort out a bare minimum of things I need to take. This is speculation. It's not going to happen, is it? Or not immediately. But again, this situation is untenable. It can't go on as it is. We haven't talked about work this coming year. We haven't restarted work after the Christmas break, and we probably won't for a couple of weeks. And then, oh, she's going away again for a week straight away. So we might wait till after that. Which will mean, look at the calendar, a month before we start work again? No, it can't be that long, surely. Where are we now? Yeah, we might do a week's work before she goes away again, but it seems a bit pointless, really. As far as I know, we're not planning to work next week. No plans have been made. We haven't got any flour anyway. And then it'll be 1 week and then she's away. Madness. Madness. But I'm not rushing to go back to work. We do have to make a decision, though, what we're going to do. Any more to say that's interesting? I'm missing the contact with my friend very, very much. And it does make me feel more isolated. Yes, she's being good. She is. There is some contact and she's offering valuable insights. But I miss the escape. I miss the conversation with someone I can trust on whatever level. And yes, I miss her because I'm very fond of her. And I enjoy very much her company. I value her opinions. Interesting and enjoyable. So that has left a gap which makes this enforced coexistence more of a struggle, even if we've only had four days of it. Bloody hell. 4 days together since the 20th of December. So that's in almost a month. And of that time, she's been away or out a fair bit. And it's exhausting. I'm already thinking, I can't stand any more of this. I do resolve to do things differently, to try and speak. But when it comes to it, I can't. I've got nothing to say. And I'm just aware of this tension. And the throat constriction, which I do believe is part of it, because I'm not speaking. And what I do is I ask her questions about her day and rely on her filling the space, and then that stops and it just silent. And then I have to get out. I have to leave the room, find somewhere else to go, and there isn't anywhere else. Because there would be one warm room. I was going to light a fire, but I forgot. I didn't have time because I needed to get food ready for this evening and sort out the washing I'd done. Domestic tasks. And then I think, is it worth lighting a fire in a room which I'm going to be in for a short while, and it's going to be empty for the rest of the evening. Where was I? The one warm room. One warm and one slightly warm. And she does dominate both of them. So she'll spread all over the one comfortable chair. I've said this before. The one comfortable chair in the house in the warm room, and all over all the surfaces in the semi-warm room. And what do I have to do in the warm room other than sit and read or play guitar, which I'm not going to do when she's around? And in the semi-warm room, what do I do there? Cook, wash up. The other day I found that I'd escaped to the room laughably called the workshop, which is just full of crap that gets thrown in there because there's nowhere else to put it. And this is bizarre, I just stood in there for just heard her coming back. I stood in there for 20 minutes in the cold until she came to find me to ask me a question about something. But that's what I do. I go into another room and just sit in discomfort, just not relaxed, dreading being interrupted. God, it's pathetic, isn't it? So I'll come and sit in my bedroom, dreading the footsteps on the stairs. Or sit at the table in the cold, unwelcoming dining room. Just pick a random book off the shelf and look at it. It's no way to live, is it? But it's of my own making and I can do something about it. But what? I need to go downstairs and continue the food preparation. Then we can eat at a reasonable time. It's not been very edifying, but there you go. To the man who commented, that's very presumptive, to the person who commented on a video the other day about my relationship with my father, I would be very interested to hear if you have any comments on that, maybe based on your own experience. But the chances of you hearing this are pretty slim. But if anyone's got anything to say, I'm interested. Although, as I would stress, I've said this before, this is purely for me. I don't expect anyone to listen to it, and I don't expect them to comment. Although sometimes it would be nice. And yes, I have had comments in the past which have meant quite a bit to me. Still, that's it. I must go and rejoin the fray. Good night.